So Naja's off the table. They're probably gonna ban like a Loki or a Sobek. There's the Loki ban. Nobody wants to deal with that. Sobek, anyone? Does anyone play Sobek? Please play Sobek. I'll Sobek. Easy pickup there. Looks like they called physical, called jungle. I'll mid. I can go mid again. We can play Agni this game, or we can play like an Ao Kuang. What are you best at? I always want to bring out the best in your teammates. Always want to bring out the best in. They're going to get Thor Apollo. Really great first picks there. Get me Agni. Yeah, we'll do an Agni game. We'll do an Agni game. So we go for a Ra solo. We can go for a Chang'e solo. We can go for a Hercules solo. We can go for a lot of things. Guan, not really necessary there. Now, the reason we got mid and our solo, just because they went for a ranged physical carry and a jungler. You never want to pick what role they pick after they pick it, because they're not going to pick Thor and then get a jungler. And they're not going to pick Apollo and get a ranged physical carry. So there's no reason for us to pick up Neith, no reason for us to pick up On Her or anything along those lines, or Naja or Fenrir or any of those characters, just because they've already picked those roles. So you never want to piggyback roles in picking. You know that they've locked that in. Now, some characters that are versatile, like Isis or someone like Chang'e, they can go for solo, they can go for mid, they can go for a couple things. Hercules can jungle, can also solo lane, so a lot there. They actually have a decent amount of tankiness here. We're gonna pick Fenrir and Neith. This is actually a really good lineup here for us. This is a very good lineup. So we got Neith, Sobek, long lane, Guan Yu solo lane, Agni mid lane, and Fenrir jungle. Hopefully this Fenrir is good. I mean, like I mentioned, and like I always say, the jungle and the mid are the carriers of the beginning of the game. If your jungle and your mid are doing well, you're most often winning the early game, just because they have so much responsibility. I mean, the mid lane is kind of like the central nexus of everything that's happening all over the map, and the jungler's responsibility is to stay up in farm, stay up in experience, and be, oh god, no. Oh, for Agni, yes. Agni. Yes. I thought it was the other way around, and I was like, no, I'm not playing Sobek. I totally am, though. I totally am. So they're going to pick up Athena, so they're going to end up going for Athena, Apollo, long lane. They're going to have Thor in the jungle, Ra. Actually, they're going to have Ra in the mid lane, and then Hercules in the short lane, it looks like. We're going to have Neith Sobek in the long lane, Guan Yu in the short lane, and Fenrir in the jungle, as well as Agni in the middle lane. This is actually going to be a really good matchup here for us. And we'll see how it goes. So we have Fenrir. So again, it's going to be Fenrir and Agni versus the Ra and the Thor. Ra has a tough time capitalizing on Thor. Ra obviously has a slow, so Ra needs to be in a better position to capitalize on the Thor dunks versus, like, obviously he can use his ultimate right away, right when the dunk comes out, if he's fast enough, but we'll see how that works out for them. So again, be wary of invasions. The first thing you want to do is head out towards these medium camps in the middle of the lane. The ones on either side, the Harpy camps. That's going to be the central focus for every team in the beginning. You want to get that early golden experience and then go to your lanes. And then when you're doing it, you kind of want to watch out for rotations. This is something that the aggressive invasions are pretty common nowadays. You definitely want to kind of spread out a bit. Be close enough to assist if they want to invade. If we want to invade, my team that is. But definitely kind of spread out so that, if they come from behind Fire Giant, they go from around somewhere in the lane. This is a good spot. I like hanging out here. The entire team's going to hang out right there. They always will. That's the spot to hang out is, if they go for the medium camp, you can respond quickly. But I kind of like to float out on the side and just check out any side rotations. Because if I'm standing here, it's going to be nearly impossible for them to get around. Actually, it is going to be impossible for them to get around. Unless they go for the Fire Giant here and go over there. But then that's not that bad of a flank position because they'll spot it. The worst flanks are if they come from behind. Like if they go around Fire Jet and around here and go over that way behind my team, that's going to be the best situation for the enemy team to invade us. But if I'm standing here, they can't really do that. And then right as it's about to spawn, then I head over and try to take out something. I still haven't chosen my skill here because I want to make sure that if I get into trouble, I can pick up my dash and dash away. If we go aggressive, I can pick up my flame wave and use that to get a kill. Or assist in a kill or get some damage out. Looks like it's all clear here.
Okay,
My dog also just farted and it smells like death. So I'm going to pick up my flame wave here, just because it seems like it's safe. Nothing really have to worry about. And we're going to go ahead and try and clear this out. Then we go across the way. Now it's possible that they're just on that side and they're going to clear theirs out and back off. And we're going to do the same for our side. It's possible. It looks like that's what it was. They're going to go ahead and back off here. This is dead. So it's going to be up against Ra most likely. I doubt that they're going to bring Hercules in the middle lane and Ra in the solo lane, but they could. They certainly could. Nothing really showing up here, so I want to be careful. If no one's showing up, there's a Hercules solo. So Ra is missing. I'm going to pick up my dash second. It's a pretty standard skill build.
Be careful.
There's Ra. So Ra's going to be in the middle lane. He's a little bit late here. Since he's level 1 and doesn't really have anything going for him, I'm going to go ahead and just do something like that. Clear out the wave. Be aggressive, and there's that. And pick up tier 2 of my flame wave. Now, deciding whether or not to use your dash as Agni is going to be, you know, the sole reason why you're, you know, it makes the difference between a good Agni and a bad Agni is knowing when to use your dash. Right there, I knew I was safe just because I had to level up on the Ra. The Thor was nowhere to be found. Now, at this situation, I'm a little bit wary. To get a kill on Agni there, so really great positioning. And again, like I mentioned earlier, getting kills on Ra is all about the positioning more than anything else. Being aware and focused.
Thanks.
Making sure my dog isn't destroying things. So Thor's in the middle lane now, so actually I'm free to just poke him until the Ra comes back. Thor's probably just going to leave, which means that I'm just going to go ahead and dash this wave. And a free kill for there. We're going to clear out this jungle. Again, these side camps are very important. He's going to get picked off there. There's a dead. I want to get out here in case Ra shows up. Hercules is over there, so nothing really to do there. What I was doing there is I was baiting out the Thor. I knew my cooldown's coming back, so I didn't really have to worry too much. And I knew the Fenrir was on his way. Fenrir already pinged. He was saying that he was going to be on his way. So I was just like delaying that engagement until my cooldowns came back, and then the Fenrir showed up. And right when Fenrir showed up, I turned on the Thor, did some damage output, and I stunned him right when his teleport came out so that he couldn't blink away. And then that was a free kill. So again, as you can see, I mean, just as I keep saying over and over and over again, the early game comes down to the jungler and the mid. If the jungler and the mid are doing well, or if you're doing well early game, it's usually because of the jungler and the mid, because they're the most active in the early stage of the game. They're the ones that are doing the most. So I kind of want to just zone this guy out now. I don't really want to go for anything too spectacular. I just want to keep zoning him out. I'm going to back off a bit. He's going to clear those out.
Be careful left.
Ra's level 5 now. Thor shouldn't be level 5. Yeah, Thor's level 3, which is great. Don't want to take too much damage for those range minions. Get a free shot on the Ra. Force him back. Get some harassment. Clear those out. Might be able to come help this. Or even steal some experience. No, they actually got that. So at this point, you know, we're up about 1.7k. Ra's having a tough time. I really just want to zone him out here and make him lose as much experience as I can. Or I can just push the wave and make him lose gold. Either way, he's going to miss out. Thor could be up in the air, so I want to make sure that I don't get caught by this. I'm going to go to my tower as fast as I can.
Ultimate is ready.
I'm going to bait this out. Fenrir's here, so I can actually bait this out. And as soon as we're ready to go, and that's all it takes. Realizing where your jungler is and what they're doing is really important for playing the middle lane. If you don't know where your jungler is and what they're doing, you're not going to play it very successfully. There's a free clear there. We can actually go for the damage buff now, since the mid is cleared out. I'm going to let him take the first hit. Clear that out there. And this should go to me, and he's going to give it to me, so now I have that. Max out my 3 next. Fenner's going to go for the blue buff. And we're pretty much just going to hold on to this. So now that we have the early game, again, I'm going to go back to zoning him. So I have two options here. I can zone him out physically, which means he loses experience and gold, or I can block him out by pushing his tower, which means he loses just the gold itself. I'll wait for the ultimate. Don't really know why he would aim that way, but he did. So that's a pick up for the Ra there. I thought he would try to lead it instead of just shooting it straight at me. But, you know, sometimes that just happens. You expect them to lead it and they don't lead it. And sometimes you expect them not to lead it and they do lead it. A lot of times that gets mixed up. But again, we're still up. We're still doing good. I don't really have a need to pick up anything right now besides wards. And we'll be good. So my next item is probably going to be a Void Stone, just because I don't really need the kill securing more than I need the protection and the penetration for more damage. We have the stuns, we have the CC, we have the ganks, we have the damage. I just want a little bit more protections. Clear that out. We have the side clear here. Actually, I should go over there and get a kill, possibly. I'm going to put that up there, make sure I don't have a ward. See if we can get a gank here on this Apollo.
Enemy missing middle.
So if I go for somebody, there you go. There's a kill there. She ain't going nowhere. Now back to middle lane. Looks like Fenner's coming out here to clear these out for me. Ra's in the middle lane. I have one ultimate. Ra's going to go ahead and push this up if he can. Athena's going to ult. I'm going to back off here because I don't want to get hit by the Ra ultimate. Sobek's here. Going to leave Fenner in the dust, but Ra's pretty exposed. I have an ultimate coming up and a flame wave. There's the taunt. Thor's here, though. Again, I'm kind of low on HP. Stun off on that. I'm just going to go ahead and disengage here. I think that could be behind me, so you never want to commit too hard or for too long. Regardless of how farmed you are or how powerful you think you are, you can always die. Always, always, always die. I'm going to pick up another ward here just so we have the vision. Vision's going to be really important early on. Looks like Sobek got picked off there. So that was a really good rotation. Not only did they have the Apollo ultimate to reposition, but they also have the Athena ultimate. And that's something to keep in mind of. They have 3 abilities that fly or reposition very quickly. So it's going to be easy for them to jump in on team fights. It's something we need to be wary of the rest of the game. Make sure this doesn't hit the tower.
Okay.
Looks like he's actually going to escape here. Very, very close. I missed that basic attack, and he just had gone. I figured he'd backtrack to the tower just to try and juke me out, and that's why I went back to the tower there. But unfortunately, he's going to go ahead and escape. Farm this up. He's probably going to go for something. I don't know if Fenner's going to go in on this or not. That Fenner gank. Now we go over here. We attack this. There's a kill. Thor's just a little bit under leveled. I'm going to go ahead and back off here because Apollo could be coming up. Back up to the secondary tower, and we should be okay. Apollo's going to be coming from the left lane, so look up to this guy. Look out for globals, especially when you're very low. It's very easy for people to just rotate over and pick you off. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and pick up... I might as well just go for Shell, honestly. Shell or Blink. I'm actually going to go pick up Blink. I favor Blink. Generally, it's personal preference. Some people like going Beads and Girdles. Some people like going Aegis Blink or Aegis Aegis beads or Aegis sprint or anything along those lines. I like blink personally just because it's going to be that one situation where I'll end up, you know, getting caught or something like that, and I like to blink out of it. Clear those out. We got a damage buff over here. See if I can't help with that. Damage buff on the ground. Hercules is pushed up all the way to this tower, so no gank opportunity there. I'm going to leave that alone. We start pushing pressure on this mid tower, and then it'll allow me to roam more and help out the other lanes, and we'll secure our early game even more than we already have. Fender's going to go in as soon as he does. Ended up missing those shots because he was just going back and forth. But doesn't matter. Looks like Thor's going to be here.
On my way. Attack.
So a little bit of a prediction there. Saw that teleport come out, so I shot the meteor where he was going to land. Got a kill on that. So it's going to clear out this wave. I'm going to push this tower. Athena's here, but she already used her ultimate. Watch out for teleports. Looks like there's a teleport on Thor. He's dead, though. Kind of a rock coming from behind. I have my dash in case I need it. Looks like Hercules is right, Apollo is left. Which means I'm just worried about Ra at this point. Just Ra. Ra could come from a flank, but it'd be kind of risky for him to come from a flank because that's a longer route, and he's going to lose his tower in the process. So if it comes over to assist me in case I get jumped on, we can go for the left lane. I can steal away their damage buff. Place a ward down right here and steal away their damage buff. They're going for the Gold Fury, which could be dropping pretty quickly here. No rotations coming out. I can zone this out if they do. And that's a dead. That's a dead. Roger that. Roger that. That's a dead. No passive on that one, but we should be able to clear this out pretty easily. Now we got the Gold Fury with a kill on that Ra. Left lane, Athena and Apollo are still down. I don't know if we really have a kill opportunity there, so it looks like I'm just going to go ahead and go home here. I stole away their damage buff and ended up picking off the Ra in the process, plus we got Gold Fury. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. We have 3 magic damage dealers, so it may behoove me to pick up a standard Void Stone to help them out. 15. I'm going to go ahead and just go for this. I'm going to pick up my Combat Blink now. I have enough penetration and protections to keep myself alive. And I also have my Combat Blink now. So, you know, the fact that I went for the Void Stone and the Combat Blink means I'm going to be pretty hard to pick off now. Then I'm going to go for the movement speed buff. We're sitting at looks like a really significant lead now. Right lane, you got to go on you farming, doing that business. So at this point, we just need to be careful not to give anything up. So if we buy defensive items or we have good positioning or good wards everywhere, there's not a whole lot the enemy team can do to get back into this because we're so far ahead. Once you cross like the 7k threshold, you're just playing to be safe. I'm going to wait for this Thor to come down. Looks like he went over this way. Can you get him?
Been slain. You have slain an enemy.
I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Neath ult. Oh no! There's Thor.
Enemy missing. Enemy missing right.
Looks like he's just gonna back off. I'm gonna go ahead and just back home here. Nothing really to do now. I'm gonna wait for the opportunity to just get some more damage. I'm going to go for the Bancroft's Talon and just go for a bit of burst. Gives me a little bit of lifesteal. I'm not going to go super hard on the rod. I'm just going to pick up the Bancroft. Bancroft is pretty cheap and gives you a good burst of damage. And that means if they focus me, as you saw in that last situation where they didn't really have enough damage to finish me off, they just, you know, they did enough to get me low, which means that I'm going to be able to just do raw, crazy amounts of damage. Okay. Okay, buff. Right lane, there's Hercules. Can help him out with this. One flame wave. Herky's going to be really difficult to kill. I don't know if we'll be able to get him here, but we can try. All his cooldowns are down. There's a pickup there. Go ahead and put a ward down here. Just because they have vision, which they don't. We can cover up the fire giant area as well. Nothing to be seen. So they're not really able to buy any wards, nor are they to place them down. It looks like we're going to have another surrender. Again, probably more morale than anything. They're only down by like 9,000 gold. They could have come back, but they ended up going for Heartseekers, unfortunately. Hercules had Gauntlet of Thebes, which means he's probably stacking that up. But again, 100 stacks is a lot. 100 stacks is a lot. GG, well played. Seeing the damage reflects exactly what we saw in the game there. Nothing really too surprising. Ra fell behind really heavily in the beginning. Just kind of got to the lane late, and just by sheer lane mechanics, I was able to shut him down really easily, zoning him out, getting the kills off, recognizing when I could dash, when I couldn't, getting the kills off, and then just sheer offense, because he just ended up getting picked off by me. You see the items here. Nothing really too surprising about my starting items. Generally, you'll go for Vampiric Shroud, choose one with one healing potion, one mana potion. The Void Stone was just to avoid the damage from Raw, as well as get the penetration myself. And then I could have gone for a tank item, or I could have gone for a hard damage item. I decided to go for Bancroft's Talon just because they were harassing me, but not really getting me low, or not really killing me. So the lower I get, the more damage I do. Plus, it has a little bit of life still on it, which is good. They went for some tanky items, but they just ended up surrendering there. So not really too much else to be said about that. The active items were pretty standard. We had the tier 3 Hand of the Gods, which is great. Sobek's always a great pickup. Sobek's just such a powerful tank. And then, of course, Fenrir and myself. And this is what I talk about literally every game, is if you want to win the early game, you're going to put all the pressure on the mid and the jungle. The mid and the jungle are responsible for winning the early game. You can see that in most games. You see Neith contributed a good amount, with her ultimate, getting some assists, some kills there, rotated over. I mean, Guan Yu was around. Guan Yu 0, 0, and 1. The solo lane doesn't really do anything until mid game. They're usually there just to farm and live. If they survive the solo lane, they win. That's really all they're looking for, so they're not really trying to get any kills or anything. So if it ends before then, the solo never really does anything. As you can see, Hercules was 0, 1, and 0, didn't really do too much, just because his team was losing too much. They ended up surrendering there. But again, you can see 4, 1, and 7, as well as 6, 0, and 3. This is the score you're going to see from an early surrender, just because the early game is on the shoulders mainly of the mid and the jungle. So if you want to win an early game, play those roles. If you feel like your team can carry you to mid or late game, you can play a carry like a ranged physical. But the jungle and the mid are the most active roles, and they're the most offensive roles, and definitely the most early game roles. That's going to be it for this game. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.